Olivia Carter never imagined that her first day at Sterling Dynamics would turn into a complete disaster. As an ambitious executive assistant, she wanted to make a great impression. Instead, chaos welcomed her. The moment she stepped into the building, a major system failure struck. Servers crashed, employees panicked, phones rang nonstop. "None of the files are accessible," someone shouted. "We might lose everything." Olivia gritted her teeth, trying to stay calm. She quickly dialed IT support, but the line was busy. "Perfect. The digital age, yet technology decides to betray me on my first day," she muttered, slamming the phone onto the desk. Right then, a tall, sharply dressed man walked into the office. Impeccable suit, polished shoes, a commanding presence, yet he looked far too calm amidst the chaos. Olivia didn't think twice. She marched straight up to him. "You took way too long. Get to work. Our system is down." The man raised an eyebrow, clearly taken aback. "Excuse me, what?" Olivia crossed her arms, tapping her foot impatiently. "No time for questions. Fix it now, before I lose my job." She had no idea that the man standing before her wasn't an IT technician. He was Nathan Sterling, the CEO of the company. Without wasting a second, Olivia pushed the man into the chair and pointed at the screen. "Hurry up, just press a few keys and fix this already." Nathan raised an eyebrow, clearly amused. "And what if I told you I can't fix it?" he asked, his tone calm. Olivia let out an exasperated sigh. "Oh, fantastic. First day on the job and I get stuck with an IT guy who has no idea what he's doing." Nathan remained composed, but there was an undeniable glint of amusement in his eyes. "So, what exactly do you want me to do?" "Pretend to care. Type something. Look like you're actually trying." Olivia crossed her arms, emphasizing every word like a boss giving orders. Nathan shrugged, then slowly placed his hands on the keyboard, tapping a few keys as if he was putting in the world's greatest effort. Olivia leaned in, watching closely. "Wow. So slow. Are you typing with just one finger?" Nathan glanced up, smirking. "Are you seriously telling me to work faster?" "Yes. What do you think this is? Brain surgery? Just click something, fix it, and let's move on." Nathan sighed dramatically, then pressed a single key on the keyboard. The entire office lit up as the system came back online. A collective sigh of relief filled the room. "Hallelujah!" someone cheered. Olivia clapped her hands, victorious. "Finally! That wasn't so hard, was it?" But then she noticed Nathan adjusting his cufflinks, his smirk growing. "And who said I work here?" Olivia froze. Her brain took a full 3 seconds to process his words. Right at that moment, a man in a gray suit rushed in, slightly out of breath. "Mr. Sterling, the board is waiting for you in the meeting room." Silence. Every single person in the office stared at Olivia. Nathan folded his arms, tilting his head slightly, clearly entertained. "Miss Carter," Nathan leaned in slightly, his smirk widening. "Any more orders for me?" Olivia felt her entire world collapse in slow motion. The air in the office grew unbearably thick as every pair of eyes fixated on her. "Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! This isn't happening!" Heat flooded her face. Her palms went ice cold. She wanted the floor to swallow her whole. Olivia felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. She had just bossed around, scolded, and even rushed the CEO of the company like he was a clueless intern. And now he was staring directly at her, clearly entertained by this disaster. "I'm so fired." No one moved. No one even dared to breathe. Then Nathan let out a quiet chuckle, shaking his head. "That was interesting." He turned to his assistant. "The board has been waiting long enough. Let's go." Olivia exhaled, thinking she had escaped. Maybe she could apologize later and salvage what was left of her dignity. But then, "Miss Carter, come with me." She froze. "I? What?" Nathan raised an eyebrow. "You wanted to explain the system issue to the board, didn't you?" The entire office held its breath. It felt like she had just been dragged into a courtroom with Nathan as the all-powerful judge. With no way out, she forced her legs to follow him into the boardroom. 20 minutes later, Olivia sat stiffly at the massive boardroom table, surrounded by high-level executives all staring at her. "So, how exactly did you solve the issue?" one director asked. Olivia swallowed hard. "Well, I made a mistake." Silence. She squeezed her eyes shut, then decided to just say it. "I mistook Mr. Sterling for an IT technician and asked him to fix the system." The room went dead silent. One of the directors dropped his pen out of pure shock. Nathan leaned back in his chair, amusement flickering in his eyes. And she was quite efficient. Rude, but efficient. No one dared to laugh, but a few executives coughed awkwardly, struggling to hold it in. Olivia just wanted to disappear into thin air. When the meeting ended, Nathan walked up to her slowly. "You're the first person to ever give me orders." Olivia nodded cautiously. "I apologize?" Nathan folded his arms, considering something, then finally spoke words she never expected. "I want you as my personal assistant." Olivia blinked rapidly. "Excuse me?" "Starting today, you work directly with me." Her mind went blank. One moment she was yelling at the CEO. Now she was his assistant? She wasn't sure if this was a career opportunity or a life sentence. But one thing was clear. Her life was never going to be the same. Olivia still couldn't believe what had just happened. Just hours ago, she thought she'd be fired. Now, she was the personal assistant to the CEO. Everything was happening too fast. As soon as Olivia sat down at her new desk, the phone began ringing nonstop. Before she could even answer, Nathan appeared, holding a thick folder. "You have 3 days to organize a charity gala for the company," he said casually. Olivia blinked. 3 days? That's right, the guest list includes top CEOs, politicians, and the media. I expect perfection. Olivia gaped at him. A high-profile event in 3 days? Waited, doesn't the company have an event planning team? Yes, but now you're in charge. Nathan shrugged. Olivia wanted to scream, but instead she gripped the folder tightly and tried to stay calm. The next 3 days were pure chaos. The florist canceled last minute. The venue requested last-minute design changes. The band backed out. The menu hadn't been approved. Olivia ran around the office, made dozens of phone calls, and tried to fix everything before it was too late. Meanwhile, Nathan remained completely unbothered. On the final day, Olivia stormed into his office, her eyes dark from exhaustion. "We have a serious problem," she announced. Nathan looked up, as if he had been expecting this. "Tell me." Olivia slammed the folder onto his desk. "The decorator quit, the band canceled, the chef refuses to adjust the menu, and I haven't slept in 3 days?" Nathan rested his chin on his hand, watching her. "So, in other words, everything is a disaster?" Olivia groaned. A very accurate summary. He didn't seem concerned. Instead, he picked up his phone and made a call. "George, I want the guest list and invitations finalized by tonight." After hanging up, he turned to Olivia. "The rest is up to you." Olivia stared at him. "That's it? No backup plan? No motivational speech?" Nathan smirked. "You don't need luck. You need coffee." Olivia glared at him, but still turned around and got back to work. Despite all the setbacks, the gala turned out perfect. Nathan stood beside Olivia, holding a glass of wine, his expression unreadable. "You did better than I expected." Olivia was exhausted but proud. One thing was certain, she had passed Nathan Sterling's first test. Olivia stood still amidst the dazzling scene of the gala. After 3 days of racing against time, everything was finally perfect. The grand chandeliers glowed, the elegant tables gleamed, and the city's most powerful people chatted over fine wine. She had done it, but instead of celebrating, Olivia felt a pair of eyes watching her. Nathan Sterling, as calm and unreadable as ever, stood across the room, a glass of wine in his hand, his gaze fixed on her. He was watching her. Olivia tried to ignore it, but her heartbeat betrayed her. Needing a moment to breathe, she stepped out onto the balcony, letting the cool air clear her mind. But before she could relax, a voice sounded behind her. "Running away?" Olivia turned around, facing David Lancaster, a sharp businessman and one of Nathan's biggest rivals. Just enjoying a moment of peace." She folded her arms. David smirked, swirling his drink. "You and Nathan seemed close." Olivia frowned. "We work together." "Do you really believe that's all it is?" David tilted his head, his voice layered with meaning. Before Olivia could answer, a deep voice interrupted. "I don't recall inviting you into this conversation." Nathan stood at the entrance, his eyes cold and unwavering. David chuckled, raising his hands in mock surrender. "Relax, Sterling, just a harmless chat." Nathan didn't blink. "Olivia doesn't need your insinuations." David held his gaze for a moment, then shrugged and walked away, but not before casting Olivia one last knowing glance. Once they were alone, Nathan turned to Olivia. "Did he bother you?" Olivia forced a small smile. "I can handle myself." Nathan stepped closer, narrowing the space between them. "I know." His voice was softer now. "But that doesn't mean I'll stand by and watch." Olivia swallowed. Something had shifted between them. Nathan held her gaze. Then he leaned in slightly, but stopped. Waiting. Olivia didn't step back. She didn't kiss him, but she also didn't walk away. Nathan smirked, as if he knew exactly what was happening. "We have time," he murmured, stepping back, leaving her with a racing heart and more confusion than ever. Olivia thought that after that fateful night, everything would go back to normal. She was wrong. From that day, Nathan began a quiet but persistent pursuit. He was everywhere, meetings, coincidental lunches, even delivering coffee to her desk every morning. "Do you seriously have nothing better to do?" Olivia folded her arms. Nathan just shrugged, smirking. "I do, but no deal, no project, no billion-dollar contract is as important as this." At first, Olivia thought it was a joke, but Nathan never gave up. One late night, as she worked alone, Nathan appeared at her office door, holding a box of pastries. "You haven't eaten, have you?" Olivia sighed. "Why do you keep doing this?" Nathan stepped closer, his gaze unwavering. "Because I care about you, and I'll keep doing this until you realize you care about me too." She thought she could keep resisting, but then, on a rainy night, Nathan called, "Come downstairs." Looking out the window, she saw him standing in the rain, umbrella in hand, waiting. When she reached him, Nathan gently touched her cheek, his voice soft but firm. "Give me a chance." Olivia had fought this long enough. She placed her hand on his chest, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, strong, unwavering, just like him. She let out a breath she didn't even realize she had been holding. "All right, Nathan," she whispered. "You win." Nathan's smile grew as he pulled her closer. "You won't regret it." And this time Olivia knew she wouldn't run away. 1 year later, Olivia stood on the rooftop of Sterling Dynamics, the night breeze brushing against her skin, carrying the distant hum of the city below. She didn't understand why Nathan had called her up here on a Saturday night, but the moment she stepped onto the helipad, her breath caught. The city lights stretched endlessly beneath her, sparkling like a universe turned upside down. A narrow path, scattered with rose petals, led straight to where Nathan was standing. Dressed in a sleek black suit, his hair slightly tousled from the wind, his gaze unchanged, still looking at her the same way. Olivia let out a small laugh, crossing her arms. "Nathan, what are you up to now?" He stepped closer, took her hands in his, and pulled her gently toward him. "Something I've been thinking about for a long time." Her heartbeat pounded. "Olivia," his voice was deep, steady. "Since the day you walked into my life, I haven't had a single, boring moment." She laughed softly, but her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "I used to believe I had control over everything, but then you showed up and I realized I don't want control anymore." Nathan slowly lowered himself to one knee, pulling out a small velvet box. A ring gleamed under the city lights. "Olivia Carter," Nathan's voice was steady, but his hands trembled ever so slightly. "I've built empires, closed impossible deals, and led thousands of people, but nothing has ever terrified me more than this moment." He took a deep breath, eyes locked onto hers. "Would you do me the honor of making sure I never win another argument for the rest of my life?" Tears spilled down Olivia's cheeks. No hesitation, no doubt. Yes. Nathan smiled, slipping the ring onto her finger, then pulled her into a kiss. Deep, passionate, and filled with everything he couldn't say in words. Behind them, fireworks exploded, painting the sky in brilliant colors. But Olivia saw only one thing: the man in front of her, the man she never thought she'd love, the man she couldn't imagine living without. 3 months later, "Are you nervous?" Nathan leaned in, whispering as Olivia stood at the end of the aisle, her wedding dress making her look like a literal goddess from a fairy tale. Olivia swallowed hard, gripping her bouquet. "No, I'm fine," she said, but her voice was absolutely not fine. Nathan smirked. "Good, because you're about to marry the man you once ordered around like a clueless intern." Olivia stomped on his foot. "Can you not bring that up on our wedding day?" Nathan chuckled. "Not a chance." The ceremony was perfect, and everyone could feel the chaotic but undeniable love between them. When it was time for their vows, Olivia tried to keep a straight face. "Nathan Sterling, you are the most infuriating man I have ever met, but somehow you're also the only one I can't live without. I promise to love you, take care of you, even when you constantly annoy me." Nathan grinned, squeezing her hands. "Olivia Carter, you are the first woman to ever boss me around like an IT guy, and somehow I fell in love with that. So I promise to love you, even when you keep ordering me around every single day." 3 months after the wedding, Nathan sat on the couch, casually reading the newspaper. Olivia walked into the kitchen, arms crossed, one eyebrow raised. "Hey, darling husband, get me a coffee." Nathan peeked over his newspaper. "Oh, another order. Let me guess. You forgot that you're not my boss anymore, didn't you?" Olivia narrowed her eyes. "Do you want to survive today?" Nathan closed the newspaper, pretending to think. "You know, since we got married, I've realized something." "What?" Olivia crossed her arms, suspicious. Nathan grinned mischievously. "I am no longer the CEO of Sterling Dynamics. I am officially an intern for Olivia Sterling." Olivia laughed, flipping her hair dramatically. "Took you long enough to figure it out?" Nathan sighed dramatically, standing up to pour her coffee. "How did I end up marrying such a terrifying woman?" Olivia took the coffee, sipping it like a queen. "Because you like it." Nathan leaned closer, smirking. "Like, oh no, darling." He reached for her hand dramatically. "I am utterly, hopelessly, tragically in love with my terrifying wife." Olivia rolled her eyes, laughing as she swatted his arm. And before Olivia could respond, Nathan pulled her into a kiss. Just to remind her that no matter who was in charge at home, they were always a team. Life with Olivia and Nathan was never boring. They could argue over who should do the dishes. Nathan could tease Olivia every day about how she once ordered him around, but behind every playful jab was an unshakable love. One evening, Olivia curled up on the couch, watching a movie with a bowl of popcorn in her lap. Nathan glanced at her, then narrowed his eyes. She realized something. Olivia glanced over. "What?" Nathan smirked. "You don't order me around anymore." Olivia shrugged. "That's because I don't need to. You already do everything I want automatically." Nathan burst out laughing. "I married an evil genius." Olivia grinned victoriously, and Nathan pulled her close, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "And I love it. What started as a ridiculous misunderstanding ended in a love no one could replace." So, what do you think about Olivia and Nathan's story? If you enjoyed this story, leave a comment, rate it from 0 to 10, and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another amazing story. And if you made it this far, comment "Bossy Love" to see how many people adore this story. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.